Thank you for checking out this episode of Back to the City. I am in the yet to be officially opened Midwest American Shaman store.
Yes, absolutely.
With Shane and Mario. We're going to talk about a bunch of things, primarily though, the store opening.
Absolutely.
Which is happening on February 9th.
February 9th, so grand opening.
February 9th, yep.
Okay. So what is this store to begin with?
We focus primarily on CBD, non-narcotic pain relief. Our main focus is pain because we deal in anti-inflammatory issues. So any inflammatory conditions we specialize in treating, but we also help out kids that have autism, epilepsy, epileptic seizures, help decloak cancer cells, fibromyalgia, meningitis.
Arthritis, any itis, any EDs.
You both have a background in Rhymesayers.
He more so than I.
Well, I was actually part of the family before Rhymesayers was even a thing.
Absolutely,
right?
headshots.
We used to actually do the breakdancing, right? So I actually grew up breakdancing. Started when I was about 5 years old. My family did it, whatever. I have pictures of me, just doing little freezes and stuff. So I ended up becoming a part of the breakdancing crew called Battlecats Breaking Crew. The original members are Felipe Espinosa Day, Michael, Eyedea Larsen, everyone knows him as Eyedea.
Of course.
Pete McIntyre, Angel Sandro, Damien Day. And myself. I forgot J-Rock, sorry Jason. So him and Damien and like Felipe, Mikey and Pete, they were doing it before I even came along. I was just like the nail in the coffin. We're like, we got a crew now. I got better and better.
They got you and then they had a crew.
Yeah.
So the genesis of Los Nativos goes back to that.
So then, because of breakdancing with Phil, they had a group called Los Nativos, and one day they were just like, hey, you want to rap with us? And they were like, here's the track, and they were...
So just one track to begin with? You're going to be like a guest on the track?
So they were like, here's the track. I ended up writing it overnight, and it became one of the favorite songs on that entire album.
Which song?
It's called Eyedea. We had been doing shows before the album actually came out. I want to say it was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
I think 2003 the album actually came out.
That sounds right to me. If I was trying to tell this story, those are the dates that I would guess.
They just kept throwing me tracks to write to, and then I kind of became I was more like a hidden member.
There is a very conscious message to that act. There's a political motivation and community awareness. Is there any overlap between all of that, like the ethos of that act in particular, and say of Rhymesayers, and then this? What is the thing that leads someone who has all of that background to be creating this business? The
way that the whole thing came about was just through a mutual friend. He also knew Michael Larsen.
I met Mikey in Blaze Battles in 1999. I lost to him and he kicked me out of semifinals. I didn't like the kid. I didn't like him for years. I thought he ruined me. I was just a hater. And then every time that I saw him, it would always be love.
We should establish that the unsick, the gifted.
I'm primarily known as a battle MC and a freestyle MC. Before any of the recording and stuff like that. Nobody listens to all this stuff, but everybody wants to go to the show that I'm going to be on stage at. Then Mikey slowly just shipped me away, and he became one of the greatest friends that I've ever known. After his passing, he came up here to help out his mom with Crush Kill, and that's how I interacted with Mario first.
That's how you met?
And so rewind. Mikey and I actually grew up on the same block.
How did you first meet?
I went to school with his neighbor, Anthony or Tony Bell.
Yeah.
He lived a few houses down, and I would always hang out there, and then Mikey would always be there, and then we had all the neighborhood kids, like the good old days. Everybody was outside hanging out. Nobody was inside on their phone like they are today.
Teaching each other how to use blinders.
That sounds a lot better.
I had got put away for a year when I was young. I remember, I got home, and I think it was maybe a week after. Come home, and I'm flipping through the channels one day, and sure enough, on cable access, I see these kids breakdancing. I was like, who are these kids? I remember just seeing this kid. He was doing this thing, and then he got up and looked at the camera, and I was like, that's Mikey. I was like, what the hell? And then I was like, that's Peter. And I was oh my God. And so I swear to God, so I got up out of my chair, and summertime, I go walk right down the block, and who's there pulling up right onto Banfield Street, where his mother lived forever. And Mikey was like, hey, what's up? And so I run over there and they pull up, and he's like, hey, what's up, man? And I was like, hey, man, I just saw you guys on whatever. I was all cool, like, yeah,
of course.
And I'm like, man, I was like, I want to get back into that. And he's like, you got to come inside.
Join the club.
I go inside. There's a room in the base where his studio was.
Yeah.
It was carpeted, but he had linoleum over the floor, right, taped.
Was it the same day that you saw on the TV, and then you
It was the
ran
same
in?
exact
The same
day.
day.
Same day.
Wow, that was destined.
Synchronicity.
Yeah.
Synchronicity.
Clearly difficult to argue with that.
Yeah.
Okay, universe.
And time goes. We're all of a sudden we're breakdancing together all the time, practicing.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you want to be part of the crew? And then that's when Battlecats officially became a thing, and there was like 6 original members. And Mikey was like, he was super dope on the linoleum.
I believe him.
As a b-boy, I admired him a lot. Some of the moves that he would come up with. At some point, I ended up living with Mikey and his mom for a couple of years, and that was like back when they were working on the Sixth Sense.
14.
Sixth Sense album. Yeah, we were young. I was like 15. He was 14.
So that's like the genesis of everything.
Yeah.
Getting into that obviously very vibrant music community.
Yeah.
Is there a thread, do you think? So now with the focus on pain relief, is there anything that connects?
Man, as a b-boy, your joints start aching when you get older. Like my neck, my back, just.
You were just mentioning.
Yeah. So
Shane had a massage yesterday.
Well, so fantastic too.
I used to do a lot of crazy moves when I was younger. Just things you don't think about the consequences as an adult. Or when you become an adult.
So there is a connection then. The physicality.
I feel like, there is now. You think about the strength it takes to be a breakdance or a b-boy. It takes a lot of core. Core, arms. It's like everything. Like you're working every single part of your body.
So that's really interesting. That there's always been this concern on like physical well-being and being strong and developing one's power. Some people, because of unwarranted negative associations, would be like, not knowing what CBD is, even would be that's like a kind of that's bad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put that in my body.
90% of what we do in this industry is, there's 3 things we do in this industry.
Yeah.
1, we help people who have an inkling about CBD, and then we can explain how our patent process separates us from the rest of the industry.
Okay.
Or
briefly, how?
Yeah. We have the only proprietary patent on nano-emulsified water-soluble technology.
Okay.
What that means is the reason you put CBD underneath your tongue is because of the size of the molecule.
Okay.
It's the only place you can get it into your body. Oil molecules are large. They're very hard on your liver. You only process 6 to 10% of any oil you put in your body. Doesn't matter if it's CBD, it can be vitamin B12 or fish oil, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
What we do is we break that molecule all the way down to 60 nanometers.
Right.
It's just small enough to enter the liver, just large enough to not get passed through. You process 100% of our CBD.
You have 9 times more bioavailability than anything else on the market.
Anything in the world.
So what is bioavailability?
It's how your body processes anything that you put into it. It's how your body biologically makes the things that you put in your body available to convert into energy, or energy to heal itself, or energy to do maintenance, anything.
I look at it as like, say you have a funnel, right? And you're trying to pour, like, let's say, oil in your car, right? Say you turn that funnel upside down and you just dump, right? You're only going to get so much of that oil. The rest of it's good because the
what a waste.
end of the funnel.
Yeah.
You turn it around and just pour.
Yeah.
You're going to get all of it.
Absolutely.
Because of the size, the availability, like the tools. Your body needs the necessary tools in order to make it available.
Availability, bioavailability.
Or a basketball full of BBs. You have a basketball full of BBs, and you're trying to get that basketball into a hole.
Right.
If you stab that basketball and you separate all those BBs, how much surface contact do you have? That's basically what we do.
Yeah.
We take that basketball and we shrink it all the way down to BB size. And we just make a bunch of it. So not only are we the most effective delivery system of CBD, we're the fastest. Our product spreads tip of toes, top of head in 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, really?
Everybody else takes 2.5 hours.
Instant gratification. I mean, I've seen just wonders right in front of my face, you know.
I've watched Parkinson's stop shaking. I've had a 16-year-old girl with tumors.
Yeah.
First time that her tumors ever in her life. She's had them since she was 9 years old. Finally start to decrease. I've had head trauma victims. A lady's ex-husband beat her in the head with a baseball bat. I've watched her tremor stop in front of me. She hasn't been 30 seconds without having a clinch or a tremor in 5 years.
Yeah.
In front of me. Just one dose in front of me and she stops.
Yeah, one of my friends comes into my salon and she's like,
Which
hey,
is Fox.
Fox Face Studios.
Fox Face.
Yeah, that's me and my wife own a salon over in the west side of St. Paul. So she, you know, she comes in and she says, hey, Maria Isa, I'm sure you guys are familiar with her. She's like, yeah, Maria just told me that you have some miracle oil, you know, or whatever.
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
do.
like,
It's a good way to put it.
Yes, I do. And she's like, oh man, I need it. And I'm like, so what's the matter? Like, what's going on with you? And she says, well, I have this muscle spasm in her leg, right? And it's just constant, right? It's just constantly contracting. And she's like, I'm exhausted at the end of every day, and you know, she's tearing up, like she's, you know, she can't sleep. I mean, imagine your leg constantly going, you know, flexing. And I said, all right, yeah, let me help you out. And so, you know, kind of told her about it, gave her a dose. She called me the next day, and she's like, she's like, oh my God, like I don't know what the heck that stuff is, but it's a miracle. Like, she's like, I slept like a baby, and she's like, I'm gonna go to work and I'm gonna take it again, and now she's like, I'm 90% healed.
Any animal with a vertebrae has an endocannabinoid system. The thing about living as an American citizen is, prior to 1947, with the prohibition of marijuana, the textile companies lobbied against the hemp industry and got hemp categorized in the same class as marijuana. You can smoke hemp all day long. You can do every product in our cases. You're not going to get high. You can't get high off of it. Prior to that, we used to feed it to all of our livestock. So in turn, as we ingested chicken, beef, and pork, you would also be taking in cannabinoids. You are nurturing your endocannabinoid system. So right now, we're 80 years later, our entire nation is suffering from what's known as endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome. I'm not a fan of supplements. That's exactly what we sell. I don't agree with supplements in any form, except how else are you going to get cannabinoids into your system without taking our product, since now, even though it's legal to grow hemp, it's still not legal to feed it to livestock.
Why does this system need to be nurtured, just in a nutshell, for anyone who doesn't understand
because it, just like anything else in your body, every other system, your cardiovascular system, the system you used to breathe, it doesn't matter, your cerebral system, if you're not treating it, then it's in despair. And so in order for you to heal that, the only way you can do it is to take a supplement. And I don't care if you're taking my product, I don't care if you're taking somebody else's product, I don't care what you're doing, as long as you're getting a little bit of CBD. Some CBD is better than no CBD. We have the only CBD that you're going to process 100% of.
Right.
Now, JAMA...
Lots of it is better than some of it, which
absolutely.
is better than none of it.
Yeah.
Can you have more than is good for your body?
No.
No.
Your body's only going to process as much as it's going to process. The rest of it you're going to flush down the toilet.
Yeah.
Now, JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association, just did a nationwide report. They tested companies coast to coast in America. They found 80% of the companies they tested to contain 0% CBD.
Oh.
Now, the 20% that have CBD, then you're getting into the people who mislabel stuff, who don't have third-party testing, who are selling synthetics and white-labeled out of China or Russia. And some of those synthetics are killing people.
Dangerous.
People have died in London from taking synthetic CBD. So whenever you get through all that, I just want people safe. I don't care if you got another brand you like, that's fine. Look for third-party lab tests.
You have the highest third-party lab testing in the industry.
In the entire industry.
I have all of these
Globally.
factoids to share for you.
Absolutely, yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah, wonderful.
But it's true. You can fact check it yourself. It is true.
Yeah, that's what I love too. Because the whole time you're messaging me like, yeah, you gotta give me some facts. I'm like, I'm trying. I'm just so busy with this store. I'm logging in 16, 18 hours a day here. You've already got it all together. That's why you're one of the best interviewers in the entire world. We're the only company in the entire industry that's ever been featured in Forbes magazine. We're not only the first, we're the only one. CBD's been completely legal nationwide since 2014.
So you're Midwest American Shaman.
We're Midwest American Shaman.
Is Midwest American Shaman part of
We are
American Shaman?
Yes.
Okay, and so what and how broad a thing is American Shaman?
There's 200 stores nationwide. We've already had deposits paid on another 200 plus stores. So by February, there will be 400 stores nationwide open. We're in New York, we're in Illinois, we're based out of Kansas City, Missouri, where I'm from. We're in Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Florida, LA.
How did Midwestern American Shaman come to be there?
The Midwest is like, it's what I've known my whole life. And like, I want to bring healing to to home.
That's what it is. That's what this is, isn't it?
I want to take care of my
Midwest
people.
American
To
Shaman,
my people, my family.
bringing healing to people.
Yeah.
This whole situation it's almost cosmic. Like this is so meant to be.
How so?
It automatically, I mean, it literally goes back to Mikey, you know, if everything boils down to it, it all goes back to Eyedea. I met Mario at Mikey's funeral. I'm from Kansas City. I lived in Mikey's house too, post-mortem. He lived in Mikey's house while he was alive. We lost our friend through an opiate addiction.
Yes.
If we can save one person, and Minneapolis has the largest opioid epidemic in the United States. The moment I got into this business, I was on the road. I'd been on the road with Chesky and Sea Ray's Walls and a bunch of other people. And I got a call, and they wanted me to have a massive sales background. People in the company called me, and they said that they'll buy me a store to come help them open up a few. And so I spent the last 5 months in Oklahoma. I opened up 5 stores in 6 months. Then I got up here, we opened up this one, we lost all funding, and we just said, screw it, man, we got to save these people. The moment we came to look at this property, I haven't talked to Christoph Crane in years. He's one of his best friends. Chris called him the night before asking about the industry and that kind of thing.
But it just so happened to be like him and I were next door.
Waiting on the landlord to look at the property.
Lots of the same day or the night before.
He shows up at Sweet Hollow Cafe, and we're there for the first time. He comes in,
Christoph Crane.
And we just got them talking about this, and he's like, "What are you guys doing here?" And we're like, we're about to go check out this space and just conducting business. And
it's just 100%.
There are these signs.
It's a lot of synchronicities. Anybody today, I mean, we're talking about POS, we're talking about whatever, Rhymesayers, pretty much everybody in Rhymesayers. We were just doing house shows back then. Like, nobody was anybody, really. We were just kids having fun, setting up a little, like,
becoming
PA
yourself.
system or whatever, you know, like a microphone and a little whatever. I mean, we had turntables and stuff.
But this evolves because it's like a genuine community, and there's this excitement about it. So it starts like in a basement or wherever.
And it's just amazing that, you know, I look around sometimes, you know, like say I had the privilege to perform at the Rhymesayers 20-year anniversary. Just looking around at all that, it just everyone and seeing everyone on stage at the end of it, you know, everyone's just holding hands or like just, you know, you got now like the newer generation, Josh, the Matless, you know, jumping 40 feet in the air, you know, like. But just seeing that, like, I remember, like, just looking at everyone and just like, wow, we were just all kids.
This family,
and now everyone's just like so successul.
Absolutely.
I headlined Josh's first out-of-town show ever. It's like, who am I at this point now? You know?
Everyone that I don't know, he does know. We cover every angle of
between the two of you.
So it's like us coming together. It's just been phenomenal.
It's nice how it's a kind of natural evolution of the cultivation, the flourishing of that community.
It's just pushing us at this point.
The community that we're describing is one where, like, healing and you know, care for other members of that community, it sounds like it's always been a crucial part of it.
Sure.
Yeah, those connections.
And there's
affect
such
more
a
people.
strange dichotomy to the Twin Cities environment. This is some of the healthiest people that I've seen as a community. But there's also the dichotomy and the flip side of it too, to where it's like, there's opiates everywhere out here. How are we this focused? How is this the second most bike city in the United States? It's frozen 7 months a year, and we have such a high population of people that are just hooked on these pharmaceuticals. And the thing about pharmacology is, you're treating a symptom. If you keep treating, symptoms are the warning light in your car coming on telling you that your system needs maintenance. Your system's the engine. It's what controls everything, it's what keeps you going, it's what keeps you focused. And all pharmacology does is treat the symptom. Well, whenever you start treating the symptom, just like fixing a tire, if all you ever do is patch that tire, you're going to have to put more work and more work and more work into that tire until you're treating the system, and you keep that and you get that axle balanced out so that tire quits doing that. You're doing nothing. You're doing nothing, and then your body becomes reliant on it. And then all of a sudden you're taking more of that product to get the same results, because you have to keep on maintaining that one piece, that one symptom, and then you're hooked on drugs.
I've always been fascinated by the process of homeostasis.
Sure.
Could we talk a bit about normal homeostasis? And
Just systemic balance. It's just getting your body back into systemic balance. That's kind of basically what we do. Healing begins from the inside, works its way out. I'm more focused on every customer that walks through the door that I ever pitch. I talk them off the most expensive stuff, if I can. And I want to get you on something that's going to incorporate homeostasis and systemic balance back in the endocannabinoid system, and let your body do what your body does. Your body doesn't want to break down. There's 10,000 years of evolution in this thing. It does not want to break down.
We're trying to maintain balance.
Sure.
Yeah, that's basically what staying alive is. Yeah, trying to managing to maintain balance.
In the process, screwing it all up.
But as organisms, as living creatures, we're kind of hardwired to maintain balance, whether or not we're thinking about it. That's what's happening. And then if we're like trying to treat just the symptom, that could be inadvertently really messing with that natural effort to maintain balance. And the CBD oil, we've given some anecdotes of people who have benefited from it. We've shown like how concerned you are about healing. We've spoken about the science and how the human organism is trying to maintain balance, and we've elaborated on how this oil enables that system to function. Speaking of synchronicities, Back to the City did a benefit for a good friend of ours, Lauren, who has fibromyalgia. So we recently did a benefit for a friend with fibromyalgia.
We have amazing results on fibro.
Yeah, okay, so could you elaborate a little bit more on that in particular?
Fibro, whatever the causality of fibro is, it causes inflammation. When the inflammation starts, that's whenever you start to get the aches and the pains and everything else. So aside from the pain relieving applications of CBD itself, whenever you're going through fibro, especially, removing the inflammations, or the inflammation, prevents the episodes from occurring as often. I've seen amazing results on fibro with CBD, lupus with CBD.
What particular products?
The nano-emulsified water soluble. It always comes back down to treating your system and not the symptoms itself. I started taking it because I'm fat and I threw out my back. Finally, my buddy's like, "Hey, why don't you try it?" I'm like, "That stuff's not gonna work." So just try it. I tried it and I got up and I could move, and when my back goes out, I can't breathe, and I could breathe. And I was like, "Am I feeling better?" Oh yeah! I tell everybody, you don't have to get high to get help. I incorporate the healing with the buzz, the inebriation from getting the shot of Dilaudid in my butt cheek. That went away. I realized that it's not that I quit hurting. I feel normal. I'm just back to normalcy. I'm just back in systemic balance.
Normal homeostasis.
Absolutely. And then I started taking it. As you take it, I started taking it for that one thing. I have a TBI. I've fought a lot. I've got an MMA background too, and I've got a TBI. I got a blood clot in my brain. I went through a massive bout of lapses in memory. We went out, me, him, and POS went out one night. I wound up vomiting all over his vehicle. I fell asleep in the snow. I couldn't get in. The next day I couldn't unlock my phone.
Wow.
I had to throw away a phone. I threw away 4 phones last year because I couldn't remember the password to get into them.
Because of the brain
and that's how
injury.
I found out, I was throwing up all his vehicle, that I had a traumatic brain injury. It was one of the scariest things that I've ever dealt with in my life.
Absolutely, yeah.
Since I've been on CBD, I haven't had one lapse.
Really? Wow.
I threw away 4 phones in 12 months. Since I've been taking the product, I haven't had one lapse.
Wow.
The longer you take it, as you're treating that system, you start to notice more benefits. I get a better quality of sleep, stimulates REM cycle sleep by 30% in national studies.
Again, it just seems to always come down to establishing a balance, like changing the MO as opposed to just trying to sort the symptom.
No. I can have an iPhone again. I can have an iPhone again.
Hooray.
I've been walking around with $20 Android phones for the last year and a half that don't do anything because I know that I'm going to forget the password and I got to throw it away.
Yeah.
I have an iPhone again.
Speaking of things functioning well, let's quickly highlight that you're going to have another new business soon because you already have the...
So at Fox Face Studios, which is a full-service salon.
In St. Paul.
In St. Paul, on the west side of St. Paul. My wife and another, our friend, Nikki, they just come up with this idea. It's called Fox Run. I'm not going to say too much more about it.
Without revealing anything, the link with this conversation is that it will make something function better.
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
there's going to be some happy people. Yeah.
Beautiful, happy people.
Beautiful, happy people.
Nice.
Yeah. in the beauty industry.
And on top of that, we're breaking ground on 2 more Midwest American Shaman locations this month as well.
Okay.
We'll be first over in West St.
So
Paul.
we'll have 3 here pretty soon.
And on the immediate horizon, the first thing that we mentioned is the grand opening.
Oh yeah, February 9th.
So just in a nutshell, to wrap up, well, where are we?
It's 729 7th Street East, St. Paul, Minnesota. We're in the historic Sweet Hollow building.
We're right in between Metro State University and the Mississippi Market that just opened up. So literally like a 2-minute drive from downtown St. Paul.
If you come here on the 9th,
Come in on the 9th.
what will happen? What will people experience?
We're probably going to have a DJ for all day. At night, after we close down at 8 p.m., we're going to close 8 p.m. on February 9th. We'll have some live music acts. Just a bunch of our friends.
You know who their friends are.
Knowing who we know.
You're not going to want to miss the acts. I'm going to ship in a quarter of a cow from Kansas, probably, which is Atchison, Kansas is the best beef in the United States.
Oh, nice.
I'm from Kansas City, so if you've never had Kansas City barbecue,
Come for the cow and stay for the mysterious yet to be announced friends.
We'll also make sure to have some vegetarian options. For vegans.
Thank you. I will be there. I'm looking
you
forward
should.
to it.
Oh, I'd be ecstatic to have you.
Thoroughly enjoyed being here. Yeah, this is it's happening right now.
That's true. That's
caught on
You've
camera.
invited yourself.
Thank you. And now we extend the invitation to you.
Absolutely.
Join us on February 9th here for the grand opening of Midwest American Shaman.
Midwest American Shaman.